Producción.
Yeah. You know what it is. TrapnChercha Season 3, Episode 5. Clap it up. We in the building. It's been a minute. We got some friends and family coming here today. My man Cheeky Star, aka Buddha Inc. in the building. A legend.
Yes.
A legend himself.
My brother. Appreciate
And
y'all.
the Heights' own wildboycooba. Clap it up.
Que lo que con que volar, mi gente.
We've been meaning to have Cuba here for a while. But first and foremost, how was everybody's weekend? It's been a while since we all got in the same room. So how was your weekend, Cuba?
My weekend was dope. You know, I did a couple barbecues and, just mingled out there and didn't get harassed much by the cops. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Ja. Pinky?
It was okay.
It could have been better?
It could have. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Somebody dropped the ball. We'll talk about that later.
Please.
Cheeky?
She doesn't look like she's too happy.
I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Cheeks?
Let's.
Just feeling marvelous. Happy to be here with you guys. Weekend was cool. They had me DJing a private event where they had me in the jungle.
A privity?
Oh.
No, it was actually a party. And when I got there to set up the equipment, they're like, "Oh, we forgot about the DJ."
What?
So they sat me. I swear, I can't make this shit up.
Yeah,
Hold up, guys.
Not
Sorry.
yet, bro. Not yet. Coño, loco, bro.
Hold on.
Hey.
They literally had me DJing, like it felt like I was in an episode of Survivor, DJ edition.
Ooh, on the
I
island?
had to literally build a makeshift DJ booth with rocks, lawn chairs.
You've done worse. Come on, Cheeks.
Nah, bro. This was it. I can't even make this up. This was the one. Look, I'll show you.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, where there's a will, there's a way.
But you made it happen,
Oh,
Cheeks.
I made it happen. I caught that cheddar.
That's all that matters. So,
How was your weekend?
what did I do? I went with my son to eat in Rich Hill. That's about it. And then yesterday I was chilling. I was watching basketball. I'm a degenerate gambler, so I'm usually watching sports, and that was about it. I had a pretty long week, so.
Did you bet on the Nets?
Yesterday I did. We lost that paper.
Yeah.
We lost that paper.
Man busted his ankle.
But you know what? The law of averages has me that if I gamble every day, if I win 3 out of 7 days, I'm up.
Then you good.
So that's where I'm at with that whole thing,
All
you
right.
know? But it is a vice. My son had to call me out the other day because I'm even like gambling on YouTubers versus TikToks boxing. I'm like, all right, who you got? How many bucks you got in your pocket? He's like, I got $4. $4 that the other guy wins, bro. Like,
Oh my god.
he won though. I guess he do. He's like, no, this guy's gonna not come out. But I'm like, you sure? I got a $4 on the other guy. Like, it's a vice. Un vicio malo. Pero
Wait,
I
you
don't
don't
have
play
worse.
like cards?
I play cards too.
Oh,
I
I
play
gamble.
dice. I literally lost my whole check playing dice when I was a kid.
No, I
And
gamble
was
and
like,
I
whatever.
win.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a funny story about that.
Tell us the story, cool.
Man.
Bro, I don't know, but that day I had a lot of luck, man. I was in the club, right? And I go to the club and I had like only had like $200-300 in my pocket. So I went over there with the homies and nothing. So we get to the club and I spend my whole, the whole $200-300. I spend it all in the club. And niggas didn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? But I was pop. At like 5 o'clock in the morning, we bounce. We go to the casino right there in Yonkers. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I was twitted. So we get to the club, to the casino. Everybody's gambling. I dead ass only had $20 in my pocket.
And
La
you-
ruleta esa, la ruleta,
Yeah,
la vaina.
yeah.
I don't gamble. Yeah, I don't gamble. You know what I'm saying? That's not really me. But anyway, so we about to leave, and niggas like, yo, Cuba, come on, let's go. We out. I'm like, hold on, man, fuck it. Voy a meter 20 pesos ahí.
On what you put it?
Le metí los 20 pesos en la ruleta, and number 8, my birthday.
Nice.
So I'm looking at this shit. It's spinning. Bro, that shit hit 520, my nigga. $520 that night. I bounced with $520. I'm like, yo, I'm buying breakfast for everybody.
And you went to Landon C?
First time I ever gambled. Now we went to Jimbo's.
Oh.
Yo,
Jimbo's.
that's
Indictment?
Oh,
Indictment?
Indictment. Yeah,
Okay.
of course. You already know.
35
Shout out to Jimbo's.
35 to 1. That's great odds for every
I
$1
mean-
you make 35.
I couldn't.
So you know I gamble.
She's a smart girl.
That's
I mean,
fine.
I don't know, but
But you came up.
I definitely came up.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever gambled.
And the last?
I think I tried it again after that. I wasn't that lucky.
Beginner's luck, they call it.
Yeah.
That's what they call
Cliche.
beginner's luck.
Cliche.
Next time, just
That's crazy.
parlay.
That's so. One thing, I mean, we're speaking sports. Yes, it's been a while. Playoffs is deep. You a sports fan? You told me you was into boxing. You used to box as a youngster.
Yeah, so, I've been boxing since I was like 12 years old. I stopped boxing now, obviously.
Where was the gym you were at? We was training like.
I used to go to Gleason's, and I also trained
Nice.
in Inwood in a boxing
rec center?
called Inwood Academy.
Oh, well, that's where my son went to school in Wood Academy. That's next to the church, no, verdad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where my son used to go to school.
Yeah. So they had a boxing gym there years ago.
Right.
But before that, I used to go to Gleason's and I used to train there. And before that, I was in martial arts since I was 4 years old.
What kind of martial arts you took?
Taekwondo.
Oh, I took Taekwondo too, bro.
Everybody took Taekwondo.
Yeah, Korean Taekwondo.
Yeah, Korean Taekwondo. Yeah. I did a couple different styles. USTF, World Federal Taekwondo Federation.
So you could really fuck somebody up.
Not really, not anymore. I'm all de Guanyangao, yeah.
That's a Cuban. Yo, yeah, el cubano salió ahí,
Yeah,
bro.
de Guanyangao, yeah.
So for us, those of us who don't know, give us a little background story on Cuba, because he sounds Dominican sometimes, he sounds Cuban sometimes, just like I sound Bori sometimes and I sound Dominican sometimes.
That's right, you half and half.
Half and half, and we were having that conversation. We're gonna get into it later on, but tell us the background story of how Cuba is Cuba.
Well, I'm Cuba because my father's Cuban, so I grew up in on Hillside,
Okay.
Dykeman,
And
and Inwood. So I'm the only I was like the only Cuban dude there, like really be hanging out on the block and stuff like that. So my dad was always in the street. People know my father everywhere.
And he was the original Cuba.
And he was Cuba, so I was Cubita, and then that name kind of stuck, Cuba, Cubita. So I just spelled it different, COOBA, Cuba. And my mother's Dominican, so they didn't call me Dominican boy because everybody's Dominican. But me llamaban Cuba por mi papá. Y a veces se me sale el cubano y a veces se me sale el dominicano, but
like right there was the Cubano.
Like right there.
A little,
and then when I hit you with the Dominican, like, se me sale el dominicano también. So and that's what happened, bro. And my father came here back in the 80s, and then Mariel,
he came on the Scarface boat.
Yeah, I guess that's what we call it, right?
That's what I always called it.
Yeah.
That's how most Cubans got here. That's how the whole Miami got developed.
That's what the movie is based on.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? They
Marielito,
got real footage.
I met his pops, and he's like a visual tissue.
Yeah. Oye, como mierda!
That's one of those.
It's one of those.
Que vola.
Heard that a lot growing up. Oye, como mierda, tu me bobo, que. Anyway, literally, that's my dad. Mad loud.
So he came to Miami first.
No, I think he stopped. They brought him. I think they brought him from. He got here from Cuba. I think he went to Miami, and then from there they got him into like a little one of those camps and shit in I think in Pennsylvania.
Revenga!
Yeah. I think it was in Pennsylvania that they left him there, and then from there he came to New York because his family was here already. My aunt, my grandmother.
So this was the 80s. This was 80s.
Yeah. So they were already here. They were already in. Actually, what's funny is they were in Thayer, a block in Dykeman. Thayer.
Thayer, of course.
Yeah. So I was actually born there in Thayer, and then they took me over to Hillside, and that's it. That's what happened.
And you were born in the 215?
No, I was actually born in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in a hospital in Jersey, and then they took me from. But we didn't live in Jersey. It's just my hospital was there. So from the hospital straight to New York to Dykeman.
Yeah. So for those of us that gonna put a face to the music, you had a track a couple years ago that was kind of went viral. It was big.
Yeah.
The Beethoven track.
The Beethoven track. We dropped that 2 years ago. Was it 2 years or March 8th? Right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2019.
That song actually has become viral like 3 times over. The first time we dropped it, it was cool. We had even that dude from Full House. He did a TikTok to it. One of the first, celebrity figures to do it. Danny Tanner.
He did a thing.
That was his first
Bob
day.
Saget.
Bob Saget.
Yeah.
His first day on TikTok, and his first video that he uploaded was actually Beethoven.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Fire. That's a big look, bro.
That's a big look. It's Dembo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like why did he pick Dembo out of all? I think I'm gonna pick.
Like, yo, that's crazy.
It was
He's
crazy.
A little
Yeah.
He's
Él le gusta, él le gusta.
él le gusta joder.
Ese tigre huele mucho, parece. Yo. You know that's crazy that you say Bob Saget because out of the whole show, he was the guy that was like the biggest. He looked like he was the most wholesome, and he was the complete opposite.
The worst.
Yeah,
He was the complete opposite. They had to like really like check him.
Yeah,
Like, yo, there's little girls here, man.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
He
Come
was a
fuck
whole
down,
degenerate.
fam. Yeah.
That's
De que
what
el
makes
más
a good
serio
actor.
era
Uncle Jesse?
Uncle Jesse, que era el más serio.
I guess when you like pegado your whole life, it's just like whatever to you, you know?
Y ese era el tigre que tenía el tigueraje ahí en Full House.
Yeah.
See?
You know what I'm saying?
So tell us how that like. Where did the dembow come from? How do we get into music?
Funny
from
thing-
boxing and stuff.
Yeah, I've always done music, you know, growing up. High school days, elementary school days, writing, you know, just hanging out with the fellas out on the block, you know, in the buildings, you know, house parties, you know, spitting, freestyle, whatever. And
You want to do hip hop first?
I did hip hop first. I mean, that was the thing. That was the thing growing up in the late 90s for me, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, that was the thing. You know, Big Pun, Biggie, Tupac, Nas, you know what I'm saying, Wu-Tang. You know, that was the thing that we did. So, you know, watching 106 in Park, you know what I'm saying, with this, what's the,
AJ?
Nah, the Chino ese que...
Oh, Jin.
Jin
From
was-
the Rough Riders, that they signed him.
Jin was a beast. And I
Yeah.
remember watching Jin in 106 in Park. You know what I'm saying? That really like, you know, got us out in Dubs. I went to Dubs. And we was in, you know, that was our thing, just freestyling or whatever, making, writing and battling each other. So anyway, my boy Kareem, shout out to Kareem Sill. He had like a little computer in his crib, and that's where we started. That's where I started. You know what I mean? And then we used to make music there. We used to get instrumentals or whatever, just write verses, and that's what we did. And then one day I got on the mic, and I started fucking around, and I started like singing, cause I used to listen to Spanish like Playero and
Yeah, definitely.
you know and Daddy Yankee and shit like that from back in the day. So I started just fucking around. I started spitting some shit in Spanish. I forgot what it was. I don't remember. I can't remember right now. But anyway, I started spitting something in Spanish, and he stopped me. He's like, "Yo, you need to do that shit in Spanish. Like, you sound dope in Spanish." And I was like, "All right, man, whatever, bro." He's like, "Not for real. You need to do that shit in Spanish." So I did a track in Spanish, and from that day on, I just started writing in Spanish. But I never really did a dembow. Like I never took it serious, the Spanish shit. But my first dembow was Beethoven that I ever wrote.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
It seems like you get that beginner's luck every time. Then you turn the 20 to 540 real quick.
Yeah.
Dang.
But yeah, my first dembow was Beethoven, and I did it because I said, if I do this reggaeton shit, it's gonna be hard to get in. And that's completely honest. You know what I mean? The English shit, you already know.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright? I say, yo, I gotta do this. I could do the dembow shit. So let me write some shit, you know? But I gotta get creative with it. Because I gotta call, tengo que llamar la atención.
Claro.
Yeah, gotta stand out.
So I created a character, and his name is Beethoven. But it's not spelled like Beethoven, obviously. It's spelled Betoven. Beethoven. Así como lo dicen los dominicanos, Beethoven. ¿Me entiendes? O los hispanos, whatever. Beethoven, con ese acento. And I created that character, and he's supposed to be somebody who's always lit, and he's always drinking, and he's always smoking hookah, and he's in always, you know, party environment. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven, and that's really me. You know what I'm saying? That's my other me. You know?
Your
The alter ego.
Exactly.
Ah.
That's the one. So, you know, after I did that, you know, people really, you know, they took onto the song. Like, they liked it. They appreciated it. Like, it blew up in Spain crazy. We did like 3 tours out there. We did the media tour out there. You know what I'm saying? I was on the same stage as all these other artists, you know, all these famous artists like Ñengo Flow, Farruko, Karol G.
De una vez.
Yeah, bro. We went, yo, Chiqui, tell them about the time that we jumped into the stage, bro.
That was and when Beethoven first took off, the first place in the world that como que like
Embraced it.
embraced the song was Spain. Barcelona, Spain. Like they went like crazy. I'm talking about, it was euphoria. Like it was out of control. So, you know, to the point where they reached out to us like, listen, we got shows lined up already out here for him. Like, let us know. Let's get something together, whatever. Let's figure it out. Matter of fact, it wasn't, for that time, wasn't even that, right? The song was just, we wasn't even doing shows yet.
I wasn't doing shows.
Nope. We knew the song was crazy. So we went out there on our own.
Yep. We went out there for the media tour. Was that for the media tour? Or that was before the media
No,
tour?
no. It wasn't nothing. We was out there for it was a Reggaeton Beach Fest.
Yeah. Reggaeton Beach.
Right, but it wasn't a media tour. But AJ was the host of that. AJ
Oh,
Callejero.
yeah, Ramos.
You know, AJ
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I are like brothers.
Yeah, for sure.
So AJ's like, listen, man, if y'all pull up, I don't know how y'all gonna do it. Y'all pull up to Spain, you know I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Once y'all there. So he's like, all right, bet. So we went, just this, that, figuring it out, back and forth. Spoke to the label we were signed to at the time, like, yo, we need a budget just so we can get out there. We just need to get out there. We make everything else happen. Right, we got the money, flew out there. We was like just a lo loco, al garete, just we coming out.
Sometimes that's the best way to be.
Once I got out there, like I connected with a dude, right? And he got us the bandas.
We got the little, we got the bandas in the,
Yeah,
before we got
yeah,
to
like-
the reggaeton. Well, we was hiking over there. That shit was deep. You know what I'm saying? To get to the stage, we had to go through the whole beach and get around. And nobody really recognized me until somebody was like, I think it was just one person who
We
recognized
started giving away the shirts. Remember we
Oh,
pulling out the
yeah.
shirts?
We had the Wild Boy Cuba
We
shirt.
made shirts that say "Tengo una nota." On.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
Kind of like wearing them ourselves and kind of giving them away little by little. Nobody knew us, but somebody caught like wind that what? This is Beethoven. They started coming running to him, taking pictures with him. Then AJ noticed that we was on the ground. He's like, oh, my boy Wild Boy Cuba's here.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Cuba.
He's like, él está aquí. Él está aquí.
Yo, sube para acá. Your man Cuba almost ate the floor trying to jump into the stage. The
God.
security tried to tackle him.
Security guards tried to tackle me. I jumped over the fence. This nigga kind of helped me, push me over the fence. My other boy Kendo was there. He was trying to help me up, get me over the fence. I got over the fence. The security guards like, no, tú puedes entrar aquí. And I was like, let him go. That's Wild Boy Cuba. What you talk about? You know what I'm saying? So I got on the stage, took the mic from what DJ was there?
I forgot who
Arena.
DJ
Arenas.
Arena, yep.
DJ Arenas. He played.
There
the
was
track.
over 50,000 people out there, by the way.
That's
This is all
the
happening
part
like,
that bugged me the fuck out.
Yep.
It was 50,000 people. I had no clue I was gonna get on that stage.
Never
And
been
one-
on stage before.
I never been on a big stage like that.
Yep.
You know,
No
and
ear monitor, no nothing.
no nothing, just straight
Off the cuff.
Go.
raw, nigga.
That's the only way we
Old
do
dirty
it.
Do you
bastard
think
raw.
do you think that was better for you?
Yeah, that was better for me. You know, a la hora de la verdad uno tiene que subir y hacer lo que tiene que hacer. You know what I mean? So cuando yo subí ahí, and it was good too because it was something that I also wanted to demonstrate to my managers and to the, to my team that no matter what, once we get up there and if I gotta do what I gotta do, we're gonna do it. So we got up there in front of 50,000 people for the first time ever. You know what I'm saying? For me, on a like major type of event, and y cuando vine a ver, cuando yo dije tengo una nota, no la toco ni Beethoven, 50,000 people were singing that song.
Wow. Do you have that on video?
Yeah, we got that on video.
Need that.
Cheeky, question for you.
Go ahead, bro.
So you got the kid, kind of sounding experienced and all that. What did you see in Cuba that you're like, yo, this kid got it? Because you never saw a stage show. You saying you never saw.
Nah,
You just heard the record and you knew there was something there.
Once I heard the song, first of all, the song it was a wild story because who's the homie name that used to hang out with that locksmith that kept calling Tone?
Nah, it was a boy of mine, Julio. Shout out to Julio.
Right. Tell him to take it back to the origin story.
Bro, I didn't have a song. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have a producer. I didn't have anything. I was at work.
Yeah.
I was working construction at the time.
But
And,
you and your man Julio used to always be hanging out and getting crazy,
I
and he would call
I
Tone.
was in Jersey. My man's Julio. He was out there in Jersey. I used to go out there in Jersey, hang out with Julio and his family and our friends. We have mutual friends, And that night we was in his basement. So there was a couple of girls there, friends and family gathered, But when I get twisted, I start singing. You know what I'm saying? So I started singing and I started, doing a couple things that I had from years ago. And so when Julio heard me, he's like, yo, bro, I gotta get you with this guy, man. This nigga Tone is gonna take you to the next level, B. Like they don't even know. And the girls are like, "Oh my God, he's amazing! Like I really like his music. Like I don't understand. Like, oh my God, like, oh, what's your name?" I'm like, Cuba. I wasn't Wild Boy yet. I was just Cuba. They're like, "Oh man, where you from?" I'm like, "From New York." They're like, "Oh, wow." So anyway, Julio hits up Tone. Tone hits me up. Tone's like, no. Actually, I hit up Tone. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Cuba, and I'm an artist." He's like, "Oh, all right. So what you got?" I said, "I don't have nothing right now. I just have a notepad." I said, all I have is a notepad. And he's like, "Well, call me when you get something. I can't do nothing for you right now." So now I left it at that, and went back to work. Long story short, there was a dude there that did music with the same producer that produced Beethoven, and he comes into work and he's playing his music. He does Spanish music too, so he's playing his music and I hear it and I'm like, wow. I'm like, yo, who's your producer? Like, where'd you do that? He's like, oh, un pana que se llama Daddy, ahí en el Bronx. Shout out to Daddy. And I'm like, yo quiero meterme en el estudio, yo hago música también. And he's like, pues yo te doy el teléfono. He gave me the number, and nothing. So, but he didn't know. He thought I was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because if he knew that I was really gonna about this, I don't think he would have gave me that number.
Why? Because you took the producer away from that dude?
Well, I didn't take his producer away, but we made a platinum song and we made a platinum record, and we got a couple of songs already.
Y se podía pegar and he slept?
No, porque tú sabes que también como que los tigres son malos a veces, no quieren ver el otro progresar.
And where he at now?
¿Tú me entiendes? I don't know. He's doing good, I think. I don't know. He's working on. I don't know.
Well, shout out to him.
Shout out to
Yeah,
him.
it was a plug.
Instead of hating, he actually showed
Yeah.
love.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, but I was actually kind of surprised when he did that. But anyway, I said, yo, tú a ver, maní, con esto, yo voy a hacer una canción y me voy a pegar. So I told him straight up, I swear to God. And he's like, no, está todo loco, mete mano. So we went, I got into the studio. Long story short, I recorded Beethoven with this guy, and then I sent the song over to Tone, and then after that it was over. Cause I sent that song to like my whole phone. Remember? All my contacts. I had like 5 managers already. And
You know, Tone sent it to me.
yeah.
Tone was like, I don't really know about this music, but check it out. So he sent it to me, and I'm in the car. I was literally in the Heights driving. I play it. I'm like, shit sounds weird. I remember that's what I said when I first heard it. I'm like, yo, this is some weird fucking. Let me play this shit back. And as I kept driving around, I kept listening to the record, and I'm like, nah, this shit sounds weird. But this is weird enough that it could work.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I kept saying. I called Tone back. I'm like, yo, this shit sound weird, bro. But I think this shit could really work. There's something here. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out, but there's something.
So with that, do you want to play a little bit of this?
Yeah, let's
weird
play a little bit of the
track?
record, and then you could talk to him
Yes.
about what's going on with the record. We're gonna give you like a little snippet, but you know, the one that
Give him a little
we're gonna
taste.
start to change the name from Wild Boy to like Lucky Cuba, because it seems like oh, you do everything on the first try, bro.
Boom.
Yeah.
Lo Máximo Productions on the building.
Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Con los estoy arrebatado, los ojitos se me ponen. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Con los estoy arrebatado, los ojitos se me ponen. 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 Pare. Los ojitos se me ponen. Los ojitos se me ponen. Los ojitos se me ponen. Pare. Hacen mi arroz con los lentes bien bajitos porque estoy arrollado, no me quiero ver chinito. Óyeme DJ, que lo que coca volar. Súbame esa vaina que me voy a desacatar. Préndeme la juca, fuma la bucana. Pásame ese que está buena esta mañana. Fuma que la fuma, fúmate la juca que esa vaina a ti te gusta. Fuma. Y tira ese humo. Fuma. Y goza ese humo. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Tengo una nota, no la toca ni Beethoven. Con los estoy arreglado.
Like you gotta clear that sample, bro. The Beethoven, like intro.
No, it's public
Oh,
domain because it's over 100 years old.
But my manager did it himself though on the piano. You know, I said, yo tengo esta canción que dice, tengo una nota no la toca ni Beethoven. Tengo una nota no la toca ni Beethoven. He's like, oh, pero espérate.
The producer played it, you know.
And I was like, wow. Right away, I got chills with that shit. And I was just like, that's it right there.
In the video, you dressed up like Beethoven. I felt like that was like the Bismarcky like video that you got with on. That's the first thing I felt when I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you creating like a character with it. You have like a gimmick with it.
I got a gimmick with it, and that's just me. Like you said, my alter ego. And
I don't think necessarily it's a gimmick.
I'm saying like that's his like Bismarcky had the dude.
personality.
He has the Beethoven. You want to perform as Beethoven, no verdad?
Yeah. But you know what people don't know is that Beethoven, with all due respect, because he was
Genius,
great composer, you know what I'm saying, obviously. And back in those days, the water was so contaminated that everybody drank wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he was always a nota.
So he was always in nota. Literally. You know what I'm saying? And then he just got, he became deaf after his like 20s, like mid 20s is when he became deaf. He was hearing perfectly fine when he was born. You know what I'm saying? And his father was a school music teacher, also a composer, and really was really strict with him growing up. And that's why he was so good. You know, his father was also an alcoholic as well. Everybody there at the time, I'm telling you, the water was contaminated.
They were living in the
Drugs
city.
help people create.
Yeah.
It's just known fact. Throughout history, drugs help people create.
You know what's funny though is that I write my music sober.
Really?
Yeah. Which is
Go
The
figure.
irony.
Go figure.
La ironía.
You have a nota, but not when you're in the booth.
No. Well, sometimes, I like to get into the booth by myself, a bottle of Henny, I do that, and record just to loosen up and, warm up the vocals. And,
Let me ask you a question. So you said you used to do like English, right?
yeah.
Were you rapping as fast when you were doing English or just en español?
I was a pun fan.
So
You
you
know
filled
what
up
I'm
the whole
It's
song.
like, yeah.
It's the incredible, unforgettable rebel spitting fire at the devil. Everything's is compatible at this level. I battle him for 40 days and 40 nights. Beat him in the game of dice, kill him in the fight of mics. Like I used to be like,
Now you want to get so crazy?
That's
Who-
fun
Who
shit.
will blow up that? Cheeky was on that original like street scene for pun, B.
Yeah.
Like pa que tú veas, like.
Ain't that something?
that is
that's
pretty
it.
crazy. So, yeah.
But that was a great impression of the dude. Like not everybody could feel it. Yeah, like not everybody could fill up the track like that. You have to really be able to breathe. People don't understand how hard it is to make a song if you can't breathe through the track. And the fact that he was that fat and able to put that many lyrics in those beats per minute, it was like people don't understand how real talented he was.
Nah, Pun was the man, and that was my favorite rapper. Second was Pac, and then Biggie. But Pun was my guy, and I just liked the way he spit fast. We could still understand what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't make it sound like whack. Like, you know what I'm saying? How some of these, like a lot of these rappers that rap fast, it's just like and all of a sudden you're just like, okay,
Que tú dices.
yeah, but now you vibe to this. You know what I'm saying? I used to vibe to Pun. You know what I'm saying? He used to talk about girls, he used to talk about guns. He used to
Well,
talk
because
about,
it makes sense.
in the
That's,
club. Yeah.
Now people just use like one line throughout the whole thing.
But now
You
it's
say a story. This
a little different.
That's a lot different.
giving us a visual.
I had to actually slow it down a little bit because now music is changing. So you gotta change with
You gotta
the
dumb it
music.
down a little bit, huh?
You gotta change with the times. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed enough to meet Celia Cruz a couple of
Wow.
times. You know what I'm saying? Through a family friend, I was able to meet Celia Cruz like twice. You know what I'm saying? I was out in New Jersey, family party and everything. I didn't even know who she was. Yo no sabía que esa era Celia Cruz. Yo tenía 12 años y no sabía que esa era Celia Cruz. Yo vi una mujer llegó con su esposo en un Toyota Camry, all beat up. That's why I be laughing at these people. Like a lot of people out here, they be thinking they're the shit, you know what I'm saying? And then Celia Cruz, la reina de salsa, tú me entiendes, compartiendo con todo el mundo normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
En la cocina, lavando platos y toda la vaina.
And the beat up camera.
Yeah, in a beat up Camry. In Jerk, Celia Cruz, bro.
There's a big Cuban population in Jersey. You got a lot of family over there. Your Cuban side a lot in Jersey.
They were. They all
Yeah.
moved down to Florida now. But what I'm trying to get at is that, you know, Celia Cruz changed with the times. I mean, she was still making music at the age of like 80. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
Like, was it 80 or 70 something? 80 years old, right? Around that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
It was up
you
there.
know, it was up there, and she was still creating music because she knew how to keep with the times. You know what I'm saying? So as an artist,
that's also what you know, right? That gives you life. Like when you love what you do, no puede ir un día that you cannot do it. Don't you crave doing music sometimes?
I do, because it comes from the heart, but it's
Exactly.
also sometimes, because my music comes from the heart, it's also sometimes que a veces no me da ganas de escribir. Y entonces I don't push it. I let it be, because when it comes. I'm inspired. You know what I'm saying? You guys cheeky. Like when it comes, I hit them up like, yo, you need to hear this shit. I just did some new shit. I get hype about it. You know what I mean? But I don't push it. You know what I'm saying? Well, Celia Cruz, same thing. Celia Cruz, she did it from the heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's why she was able to continue. It wasn't something that, you know what I'm saying, she forced.
What's the craziest thing that inspired you? Que te inspiró
¿Va a hacer qué? ¿Vamos a hacer música?
a hacer música? The craziest thing.
The craziest thing that inspired me to do music. I don't know, man. Like, I can't think about something right now, but I know for a fact, like, just everyday living inspired me to do music. You know, just especially hard times. You know what I'm saying? Hard times really inspire me, and I think it inspires a lot of artists, because hard times, you know what I'm saying? Like when you gotta wake up every single day to go to work at 4:30 in the morning, something that you don't want to do. And then you sit there and you're like, God damn, man, I could write music and I could do this. Why am I not there? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I not there? You know what I mean? You know, like, Cuba, I need you to go do this. Get on a fucking ladder and go do this. And put this light bulb up, put this, you know what I'm saying, these light fixtures up. And you need to do it fast, all right? I'm like, all right, asshole. All right? Why should I do this? Why should I write this music?
The funny thing that he didn't mention is that he actually wrote Beethoven at work while trying to get out of work.
There you
That's
go.
that's the mother of all inspiration is pressure, baby.
That's
Like
right.
when you're like, yo,
He didn't want to be at work. He's like, I'm tired.
I gotta
of
write my shit out. I gotta
And he
write myself
actually
out.
wrote the song while he was at work because he came to work hungover.
Yeah. I came to work hungover. I had broken night that night.
And you on the high rises and all that in Nota.
No, actually, I was working inside the building that day.
Yeah.
But I remember I was bending some pipe.
Hey, yo.
Pause.
Hey, yo. This,
Bueno,
Hey,
¿qué
yo.
pasó?
Necesidad, maní. Va a seguir.
Y esa plebería.
Anyway, so I was doing that. Y entonces, a mí se me quedó eso. Tengo una nota, no la toca en el betón. There was a guy at work. He was like, "Te tiene una nota que..." No, I told him, I said, "Tengo una nota, no la toca en el betón." And this guy talks like that. Ni Beethoven, Cuba. He talks like,
Where's he from?
he's Dominican.
Pero mire que tú no lo...
Yeah.
De Beethoven, entonces, ay sí, tú tienes una nota, tú
Yeah.
tienes una nota, cubita.
And I was like, yeah. So anyway, that stuck to me. And I was like, yo, tengo una nota, no la toca en el Beethoven. Tengo una nota. And I was like, oh shit. And I started like, you know, ando bien borracho con los lentes bien barridos. But I had to keep repeating the same bars over and over because I didn't have nothing to write on. And I couldn't pull out my phone at work because they catch you with your phone out. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give you shit about it. So anyway, so I was, you know, and then when I got a little break, I wrote it down on my phone, and that's funny because that's why I started writing Beethoven at work. You know what I mean? And to also answer your question about inspiration is also seeing my family, you know what I mean, struggling. You know what I mean? I want to help them. I want to give them the best that I can. At the end of the day, they try to give me the best I can. You know what I mean? I'm fortunate enough to my father, my mother's always been there. I can't say that my parents never been there for me. I don't have that type of story. You know what I'm saying? If I like to hang out on the streets, it's because that's me. That's because I chose it. You know what I'm saying? A mí me gustaba el jangueo, me gustaba la calle. ¿Tú me entiendes? Pero cuando yo veo a mi mamá, a mi papá, a mi familia, yo quiero salir adelante. ¿Tú me entiendes? Para ya no pasar por esa lucha. At the end of the day, la gente cree como que tú vives aquí en Nueva York. Oye, mándame 100 pesos, mándame 200 pesos, mándame un par de tenis. Ya, y aquí estamos en el struggle. You heard? At the end of the day. Aquí se trabaja más de lo que se vive.
Ellos viven mejor allá.
¿Tú me entiendes?
Ellos viven mejor allá.
Claro.
Without a
So,
care in the world.
Dime, aquí yo no puedo coger, irme por una playa, sentarme, digo, a pensar. Con ese maldito frío. You heard? I can't sit in under a palm tree, bro, and just chillax.
Yeah, the pump, that's where you're gonna be sitting.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in the
Hydrate.
pump like that.
You know
Con un
what?
bajo a tenis de pompa, loco.
Speaking about palm trees and stuff like that, let's get back into that conversation about the heights.
Oh man, you go try to get a story.
Wow.
Before we get into that, because I know what that's gonna do.
Chiqui quiere pelear.
What's going on with Beethoven right now? Like,
Beethoven, like I said, it went viral. It went viral 3 times. This is the 3rd time it's gone viral. We getting a lot of love from Colombia. We getting a lot of love from Peru. We getting a lot of love from Chile. We got Venezuela. No, what's those other country that?
Nicaragua, todo eso.
Argentina.
Yep.
Honduras, todo eso.
Yeah, and in Dominican Republic, ahora en Santo Domingo,
And
en el
Puerto
país de
Rico.
mi madre.
The second wave of viralness is coming from the countries he mentioned in South America, which in the beginning none of them were chiming in.
Right.
In the beginning of this record, it was all about Spain. It was all Spain, and then it bled over to Italy.
Italy, yeah, we had a couple.
Yeah.
Bro, they're playing in Korea.
Fire.
Correct.
You gonna go
now-
there do like taekwondo?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there and do
second
another
time
video.
around, Colombia is chiming in strong. Chile, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, Puerto Rico going crazy. In Dominican Republic, like I get calls all the time, like, yo, bro, I'm hearing the shit on the beach. I'm like, what are you hearing? Yo, Beethoven, bro. And I'm like, fuck.
They even playing it on American radio, Hot
Yeah, I'm
97.
like, great. A year later, I bet. And then in Puerto Rico, I get calls. Yo, papi, estoy en la perla. Y están tocando el tema aquí, baby, en la vergüenza.
The last time I saw Chiqui before today was in Puerto Rico. I bumped into him like, oh, we're here. On the playa chilling.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So let's talk about In the Heights, which released this weekend. Now that we segued into that, Cuba's already he's a little upset. When I was watching the movie,
Makes 2 of us.
when I was watching the movie, I thought about a lot of people. I'm like, I know this is gonna get a lot of hate. First of all, let's give me the backstory, Cuba, so maybe that you could better understand where we got to this point. Lin-Manuel, who is from the Heights, Castle Village, the other side of Broadway, like we like to call it.
I know from Castle Village. I used to work in Castle Village. I was a doorman in Castle Village.
So he's on that nice side of Castle Village. Pero no por nada. Lin-Manuel has put the Heights on the map. He's a big inspiration of mine just because he's a guy from the Heights.
His father.
Yes, like he comes from a good family, good side. His father's
Louis.
politically collected and all that. And anyways, he writes a play many years ago. I got the privilege of seeing the play off Broadway many years ago. Me and my mom went because obviously it was about the
03?
Heights.
06 maybe?
But it was his story. I think he was trying to be inclusive and trying to end. Not for nothing, in the early 90s, late 80s, which is my earliest memories of life, late 80s, early 90s, I was born in 84. I had a lot of Greek friends to this day. I had a lot of Greek friends. There was a lot of more Cubans. All the peluqueros were Cubans. And Rudy was the main dude at the time. All the barbers were Cubans. And then there was a lot of Boris. And if you don't believe me, I'm half Puerto Rican. And my father's from the Heights.
Nah, I believe you.
All right. And we get that, right?
Right? So,
Let's break it down, right? So first of all, let's break it down with the genre. The
Okay.
genre is
I'm musical. So already we're losing
you
audience.
already know we're losing audience,
I
right?
don't have that much
So-
of attention span. I cannot.
So, right?
Yeah.
As a person who personally was in musicals, don't Google me. It's almost like a fairy tale. It's like almost making something very romantic, something that is
not the Heights.
hard. Well, you don't know that because guess
It
what?
sounds to me like this kid.
Romeo and
It
Juliet.
sounds like this kid never got into the pump, never hanged out at the
They
corner,
showed the pump.
never drank a nutcracker.
Never
All
drank a
his life.
nutcracker.
Piragua. Piragua.
I never
And
called
why
that shit
get
piragua in my life.
Frío.
Not you, but
I do a little
gente.
piragua.
Because you're
Puerto Rican.
But
Well, it
I was
was
raised
supposed to be.
by Dominicans, bro. My mother's Dominican, and we always called it a piragua. Oh, frio. I'll give you the frio.
Frio.
Frío, frío.
Okay, I'll give you a frio. De tamarindo, I'll give you frio.
Pero I
You
know
guys
it's
seen the
from
West Side
piragua.
Story?
Yeah, so was a lot of that, yeah.
The West Side Story was more of the Heights than the Heights.
So you know what's crazy?
The West Side Story was in 60th Street.
the Jets and the Sharks.
Okay.
Actually,
All right.
The
They
West
were
Side
all
Story,
white.
That
They
was
were
the
all
heights in
white.
the 60s when my grandfather got here. He told me, you see Bernardo from the Sharks? That's me. That was me when I got here from Puerto Rico. So it's like, yeah, but it's a
they were all
musical.
white.
But that made sense.
They were Greek,
they were
actually.
all
They were
white.
Greek. Yeah.
That made sense though. You know what I'm
Wow,
saying?
they were all white.
I know they were
were.
all white, but they wasn't
They-
even trying to speak Spanish though
Except
like that.
Rita.
Except Rita.
They wasn't trying to speak Spanish
But they were
like
all
that.
white.
Greek,
Okay, I
yes.
get it, but the story behind it was more.
So what part of the story doesn't resonate with you? Because let me tell you something. This is personal, right? As a dreamer, right? I'm a dreamer. I wasn't born here. That resonated with the little kid, right? That he said he had to get paid cash.
Because he didn't have his
Because he
papers.
didn't
he didn't
have
have
his
his
papers.
papers.
So first of all, that's the struggle that many undocumented individuals have to face. That they can't go back to their country and see their family. I didn't see my family for 13 years because of that. That resonated with me, right? Second part, when the girl came back from college saying that they treated her as a waitress and gave her the things. My sister went to Princeton. I also went to college, and we have very similar experiences. Actually, right now, I have a very similar experience because I work in a white male-dominated industry where I have to always be 10 steps ahead because people like that are looking at you as less than. And that's what she was trying to say. I'm going to this place, Stanford, right? Which is is an Ivy League college. It's very hard to get into. And now there's not people around me that look like me. I work in a place that if I show you my picture of my work people, I don't look like the people that I work with. So I'm struggling with that. So those are two things that resonated with me personally, right? And then we have the struggle of someone who, the main character, who wants to make his father happy because that's the father's dream, and he wants to connect because he lost his father at a young age. Yeah, there wasn't drugs and stuff like that, and the realities that face our community, right? Because there's a lot of realities. But however, each storyline, I think people can say, okay, I relate to that or I relate to that. But it's almost romanticized, right? So it's made to look like it's great, it's aspirational, like for example, of a character that you kind of want to reach. The girl that wanted to get out of the heights. You know how many people be like, ay, yo no quiero estar aquí, ya, yo no quiero estar, yo quiero ser más de.
Pancho Manguera wasn't in it, so forget about it.
And Paloma, there was missing Paloma, Pancho
For real.
Manguera.
Y otra vez, pero vamos a dar también.
And my man Pippin.
Vamos. So let's just say Hamilton exactly wasn't like Hamilton
No,
was.
it's a musical.
But it's an interpretation
It's a Broadway
of
show.
somebody.
It's a play.
Now, what I do appreciate, and that's why I approve no bashing of Lin-Manuel or his family, is because they've done so much for the Hispanic community.
That's a fact.
Politically and in the arts. They do it every day. They do it behind. They make sure that we go out, we vote, we make our stand.
United Palace when they could be in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Like those are things. But Cuba, you're looking like you're not convinced.
Yeah, Cuba's not convinced.
Cuba's looking like he's
Like
like,
I
that's,
said,
that's cool.
I
We
appreciate
need to
the
have-
message.
we
I
have- we
appreciate
need
the
to have
message behind it.
Cuba, I'm with you.
No,
Don't
I
worry
get
about
it. I appreciate the message behind the movie. You know what I'm saying? That.
Cuba, ¿qué fue lo que te sobó mal? Dime. Háblame, espera.
Pero que
Lean
tú-
back a little bit.
Cause
Háblame.
yeah,
¿Qué fue lo que te pasó aquí? Dime.
Tú vas a hacer una vaina de la Heights y ahí I don't hear nobody speaking Dominican. Piragua, los dominicanos dicen piragua, los dominicanos dicen frío frío o yun yun. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Anthony, por favor.
Si tú vas a hacer,
never
okay,
liked
in the Heights means in the Heights. Right now, this is little Dominican Republic.
right now.
Right now.
It's taken years
All right,
to get to this.
What year were you born, Cuba?
85.
I was born 84. Take it out of right now. In the 90s, it didn't look more like that for you? I mean, that's the shit though. Dykeman was like bad. Like if I lived up on the hill, right? I lived in 189.
The Heights always thought that Dykeman was like the worst of the
No,
worst.
it wasn't the worst, but we couldn't go down unless we deep to Dykeman Park, ante. Cause I don't know if y'all had problems that we was messing with your sisters. I don't know what it was. It wasn't as integrated
It
before.
was just block things. It was different.
It wasn't
before.
as cool before.
You guys couldn't come down to Inwood Manor.
You could not.
No, we
No.
couldn't get
When I
there.
went to Inwood Manor, you tuvo que ir deep as hell. Until the day that my cousin pulled the gun out, that's a whole different story. He took his Manson jacket.
That didn't make the movie.
You know what I'm saying? Of course. But what do you want to see, Cuba?
See what I mean?
What do you want to see, Cuba?
Yeah.
First of all, let me break down Hollywood for you. It's $1 million motion picture. It's such a production that when you see Frankelito in an hour 17 between 11 seconds and 13 seconds,
Ay, mamá.
they had to do that. They had to do that. They had to do that
The
scene
plug.
2 days in a row. Why? Because he said, yo, I didn't like how it came out yesterday. You know how much? What, 500 people? That was a $100 million movie. This is the simple facts. Latinos don't go to the movies as frequent. We're the lowest demographic of moviegoers. It's just a fact.
We bootleg everything.
So, unfortunately, the Dominicans that you want represented aren't gonna go see the picture. They never even been to a Broadway play.
I saw it in the Fire Stick.
Of course you did. So you know what I'm saying? So they're making a movie that's gonna resonate.
I don't think it
mundial.
should have been called In the Heights.
Nope.
I think it
But
should
why
have.
not? That's
That's
his
where it
reality.
was, bro.
But that's his.
I didn't see
that's
no
his
nut
experience.
I didn't see no nutcrackers in there.
So you wanted Freddie
I
to
didn't see-
have a scene
I
where
didn't
he's
see-
singing,
I
bro?
didn't see no cops harassing. I didn't see no cops harassing in there.
It's a
I didn't see nobody.
musical.
Okay, Zamil, you gotta make a musical. If you want to talk
You
about
only
In the
have 2
Heights,
hours.
Show me
you want to
reality.
talk about In the Heights, and you want to talk about a movie that really represents In the Heights. How about Balbuena? Bienvenido a Nueva York. When he
All
came-
right. And
How
you-
about that one?
All right, you know what
That
the problem
shit
is?
is real.
That's not.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Even the first movie In the Heights was actually more In the Heights.
All
than
right,
In the
all
Heights.
right. Again,
Well, hold on. I'm not saying this movie was trash. I appreciate the message. That gentrification is happening in the neighborhood, and people moving in and people wanting us out. You know what I'm saying? That shit is real, and it's
Yeah.
happening right now. Okay, and this united shit that we need as a Latino community when it comes to Mexicans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Colombians, whatever. As a human race, we gotta come together in the Heights. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at that musical, I like it. I appreciate the message.
They're making us look mad soft.
But that shit is not the Heights.
You thought you were gonna see Narcos, Anthony? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. First of all, speaking from my experience, when I was a little kid, it looked like that. And he's writing a play about his experience at a young age in the 90s. So
Correct.
in the 90s, I took it for what that was. Second to that, I took that movie it happened to take place in the Heights, but what it represented was any Latin community. It could be the barrio in East Harlem. It could be whatever. It could be not the Bronx, because a lot of angry Anthony's
go,
over
man?
there. He's from the Bronx. He's from the Bronx. That's why he
the
was
Bronx,
never gonna
but-
like the movie. He was never gonna like it.
But
He
I've
was
always
never
had
gonna
that
like it.
indictment though. I'm wrong.
Okay, yeah, that's a
Anthony.
fact. But you're an angry Bronx person.